Hey guys, how's it going? What's the crack? Hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the entertainment. Anyway, it is officially WrestleMania weekend. I have already done my preview and predictions for night one, so hope you check out that video up on the channel. Now I'm going to do my predictions for night two. And don't worry, if you've already watched the first video, I'm not going to be doing any rants on this one, so it's going to be I'm going to keep it short. I'm not going to be ranting. I did all my ranting in the first video about the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll rubbish. Anyway, so let me check out night two. Apparently, by the way, an update for tonight's night one. Apparently Nikki Bella is gonna wrestle. Now I don't know if that is official that she will compete, or if they're gonna have something. There was an announcement on social media that Paige has re-signed with WWE, so there are speculations that she could make an appearance and replace Nikki in the match. I don't know, or she might show up. I don't know, after the AJ Becky match, or she might show up on Raw Monday night. But anyway, that's night one. Let's talk about night two. So night two's got some great matches. This one I'm surprised is kicking off the show, but obviously, I suppose have a good match to get the night flowing, get the fans excited. So this one's Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. This one has been well built, obviously, ever since Brock issued his open challenge and Oba's answered it. So far, Oba is going in with the momentum. He's dropped Lesnar with his finisher. He's, thrown Lesnar out of the ring. He, on Monday Passer, he cut a great promo on Paul Heyman. Even during the contract signing the week before, there was a brawl. He put Lesnar through the table, and he was the one basically left standing in the ring as, Lesnar and Heyman, walked off backstage. So this is a tough one to call. The reality is Oba should be winning this match. He's super over with the fan base, and he's definitely, it will not be long before he is a world champion. I cannot see them holding off long for him to be a world champion. I can see him being similar to Brock Lesnar whenever he came up in 2002. I can see him maybe being champion by SummerSlam at the earliest. Oba should be winning this match, but because it's Brock Lesnar, Brock and Heyman always go for the shock factor with the crowds. Beating the Undertaker at WrestleMania, making the return, and absolutely dominating John Cena for the second time. So I would not be surprised if Brock won this match. I think it'd be the wrong decision. I don't know whether they'd be trying to set up. There are rumors that because Brock is calling time on his career soon, and there's rumors that Gunther could be the one to face him and end his career. Obviously, Gunther has hinted that Paul Heyman will owe him a favour because he's taking care of Seth Rollins. So could that be the favour that he gets to be the one to face Brock in his final match? I don't know. I don't think you need to have Brock beat Oba, to build up a final match of his career against Gunther. I think you could still have Oba win this match to put him over and give him a big boost at the start of his main roster career, and you can still go ahead and have Brock, versus Gunther down the line. I don't know. Somebody said on Twitter, X, the other day, name one way that WWE could ruin this match. And my reply was, if you remember Brock versus Kofi, and if you remember that, yes, obviously you know what I mean. If you don't remember, obviously Kofi was the champion. He was on this big momentum as a champion. Lesnar steps up to challenge him on SmackDown. You're thinking, all right, this could be a good match. Kofi's quick. We'll see how he gets it. Bell rings. F5, 1, 2, 3, match is over, and Lesnar beats Kofi in 8 seconds. Now, I'm not suggesting that the match at WrestleMania, Brock's gonna, beat Oba in 8 seconds, but I would not be surprised if Brock shocks the crowd and beats Oba. But I'm gonna go with Oba to win this match, because realistically, that should be the winner. So I'm going with Oba to win that match. So, next up, we have the Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I wish they had kept the Demon part a surprise instead of advertising it. I think it was mentioned that even Finn Balor himself was a little disappointed that they had spoiled the Demon persona making a return, and then he had to obviously build it up with the promos. Obviously, the freaking probably did that obviously to try and boost again ticket sales and excitement for it. Obviously, this has been building for ages in the Judgment Day. You've always had the friction between Finn and Dom. Dom's always, causing trouble for Finn, and then he's always expecting Finn and JD to have his back. Now that Finn has left the Judgment Day and JD has turned his back on him, I don't know. It's a tough one to think. See, I don't know who the crowd are going to be more behind. I know they like Finn and they're definitely going to like the Demon, but the pop that Dom got at WrestleMania last year for winning the Intercontinental title, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if the crowd were on his side again, and they love singing, Dirty Dom. I am going to go. I have to go with Finn again. I have to go with the Irish guy. Have to stick with my fellow Irish guys. So I'm going to go with Finn to win this match. Although, again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some shenanigans. JD or Roxanne get involved and help Dom get a cheap win. So, but I'm going to go with Finn to win that match. So, next up is the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. We got Penta defending against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Obviously, as I said in previous video, Rey Mysterio was supposedly meant to be wrestling Gunther. Then he got injured, so they paired Gunther with Seth Rollins, and then suddenly Mysterio was all right again. He's like, all right, yes, I'll damn, and I missed the match with Gunther, but sure, put me in this ladder match instead for the Intercontinental title. I'm hoping it's gonna be a good match. They always find a way to have a ladder match at Mania. Now, I would like for them to bring the Money in the Bank ladder match back to Mania. I feel that it belongs at Mania more than just having, a PLE named Money in the Bank, especially now that you have two nights. You could have the women's Money in the Bank on night one and the men's on night two. But this one, I'm going to go with Penta to retain. I don't. I think it's going to be too soon for him to drop the title. Although to be fair, I would have him drop the title because I would then have Penta and Rey Fenix reunite, because I think this needs some fresh tag teams in the division, and I would have, and also Rey Fenix needs a sort of push as well for him, because he has just sort of been, in the background since his move to WWE. So I would have Penta drop the title and reunite with Rey Fenix, but I could see him retain the title here. I mean, I would love for JD. It said I got it back the Irish guys. I would love for JD to win the title. I'm waiting for him to have a singles run. I think he is brilliant in the ring. I'm waiting for him to have a singles run. Dragon Lee could be another option because he's been doing well. Obviously, he had the team with AJ, and then afterwards he had that short feud with Gunther, held his own. But I'm gonna go with Penta to retain the title in this match, and hopefully it will be a good match. I know I know the fucking Javon Evans, because he is fucking crazy. He bouncy. But he crazy, and I am waiting to see what he gonna do in this match. This match is built for him to do something fucking crazy, either jumping off the top of a ladder or, running up a slanted ladder or something. I'm just waiting for it. So that's all. So I'm going to go with Penta with that one. Next, we have the Women's Championship match, Jade Cargill versus Rhea. Now, this one, I have to be honest, it has not been a good build-up. On paper, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley is a big match. Two dominating women. Let them step in the ring, let them go at it, and let's find out who is the better woman. But the build-up to this, it has not been good. The promos have been average. They then had Jade paired with Mia or Michin and B-Fab, and then you've had Io, who should be having her own story with Asuka. She's been jumping from between Raw and SmackDown to get involved in this story, and it hasn't been good. But I am hoping that the match will be as good as it should be, as I said, on paper. Hopefully, it'll just be Jade versus Rhea. Keep B-Fab and Meacham and Io, backstage. Just let these two go at it, and let's find out who is the better person. I'm gonna go with Rhea to win the title. As much as I like Jade, I don't know. I feel like it'd be better to have Rhea win the title and then move her to SmackDown permanently, because the women's division on SmackDown needs some fresh talent and needs a boost. And if Jade wins, then Rhea's obviously because she's a Raw superstar, she'll go back to Raw. I think it'd be better if Rhea won the title here and then move her to SmackDown. So I'm gonna go with Rhea to win this match. But hopefully it'll be a good match. I'd say it's on paper. It's an exciting match. It's one you want to see, but the build up to it has been poor. Next up, we have got Sami Zayn versus Trick. Whoop that Williams. This has been an alright build. If I'm honest, I'm disappointed that it is missing the likes of Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. I think those two have done a great job over the last few months of carrying the US title in the open challenges, and it's a bit disappointing that they're now off the Mania card. I feel like the plan is to have Trick Williams win, and at Mania, one, I don't think it needed to be for the US title. You could have had Trick Williams have his WrestleMania debut against Sami Zayn in a singles match. If you want to put the US title on him, I don't think it needed Sami. With all due respect, I don't think we needed to drop Carmelo just to give Sami a match at Mania. You could have had Carmelo going in as defending champion. He's got history with Trick Williams. You could have had Trick beat Carmelo in an exciting match. But I don't know what they're doing. And obviously the crowds aren't happy because, they want Carmelo. They were chanting they want Carmelo. And the rumour is now that they are going to do a double switch where Trick will be a face and they're going to turn Sami heel because the crowds are already booing him. But obviously I'm going to go with Trick Williams to win this because I feel like that is the plan overall, is to have Trick debut at Mania and get his first win. So obviously, unless they do some stupid thing where Sami gets disqualified or something, and that's how they do the turn. But I'm going to go with Trick Williams to win this match and be the new US champion. I would love for it to be a last minute change and say, alright, Carmelo is added to this match or something, but I don't know why they would wait to this point to do it. John Cena is a host, so it could happen. He could come out and say, I'm going to give the people what they want. The crowds are chanting, we want Mello. John Cena could come out as a host and say, I'm going to give the people what they want. I'm going to make us a triple threat. I think that would get a big pop. But I'm going to go with Trick anyway to win. And that leaves us. So we only have 6 matches on night 2. I am surprised that we haven't added. I don't know why they couldn't have added Io versus Asuka as a 7th match for Mania. But anyway, the final match is the main event. It's been one of the best builds so far. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, it's always been the plan since Roman won the Royal Rumble to face Punk. There was a little what if whenever Punk was feuding with Finn Balor, but obviously this is the big one. It has been a very good build. Obviously, we started off with some great promos. We got personal very quickly with Punk bringing up Roman's dad and saying that he was going to bury him next to his father. We've had the Usos involved, demanding the Punk, apologize and show respect to their family. Their last promo was a bit. It wasn't bad, but it just I would have liked a bit more physicality on Raw just to build it, but it's been alright. We've had physical. I would have liked a bit of I always like those type of brawls where the whole locker room comes out like the time of Undertaker and Lesnar. The whole locker room is like trying to get between them and everything, and it's just chaos. But it's been good. Now, Roman has recently cut a promo where he says that if he doesn't beat Punk at WrestleMania, he's done. He's walking away. Now, is that a spoiler that Roman's going to win because you're not going to have Roman walk away from WWE, or is it a hint that he might be taking a break like The Rock did, taking a break from WWE to go to Hollywood? You know, he's been filming for the Street Fighter movie. We don't know if there's any other movies in line he could be up for. I think this will be a very good match. I think it'll be personal. It's the main event night too, so anything could happen. You know, anyone could get involved. Hopefully not as bad as fucking last year. It's bad enough to have Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee on night one. You know, hopefully there's not going to be any fucking celebrities get involved. Or like the cast of Street Fighter showing up to help Roman win the match. But I'm going to go with Punk to retain. I feel like this would be a good moment to have Punk get his first main event win at Mania. Obviously, he was main eventing last year in the Triple Threat, but you know, Seth won that. I think it'd be a good match. I would absolutely not be shocked if Roman won, but I'm gonna go with Punk to retain the title, and we'll see what happens. Where that sets up possibly, you know, Gunther versus Punk at Backlash or something, but I'm going to go with Punk anyway. Anyway, that is my preview and predictions for night 2, and obviously you can check out my preview and predictions for night 1, and hopefully it's going to be a good event. As I said before, apart from the main event night 1, I'm looking forward to this event. Hope it's going to be good. I have to say that the reveal of the stage looks a bit crap, but you know, we're there for the matches. We're not there for the decor. I've seen a few things saying that there was a Bruno Mars concert, so they didn't have that long to build. Fair enough, you know, but you know, there's a good thing to do there is don't change the location. You know, it was originally booked for New Orleans, and then you decided to move it back to Vegas for more money. And I think you charge enough for that for tickets. So, you know, you could have had it in New Orleans and done a nice, big, beautiful stage. But anyway, hopefully it's going to be a good event. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And again, as I said, if you have any predictions for night 2, drop them in the comments and let me know. And as I say, as always, I will probably do. It'll probably be. I don't think it's going to be on Sunday. It'll probably be some point on Monday. I'll maybe do a reaction review to the 2 nights and see who the winners are. How many did I get right? And then talk about what we could expect on the Raw after Mania. Anyway, take care. I'll see you again. Let's hope for a good WrestleMania and hopefully less of Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll in the main event. Take care. I'll see you again.